Welcome into Miami Dolphins today. I am your host, RC Maxfield, and it is week 8 for the Miami Dolphins. And at this point, you might be thinking, RC, when is it going to stop? I don't know, and I don't know if it's going to get any better. And the thing I don't know about is when is that losing streak going to stop, because it is now at 6 games. Miami will head up north to face off against not the Jets. No, it's that team right there, the Buffalo Bills. Yes, the team that makes every Dolphins fan want to throw up just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, and it makes you upset that they are as good as they are. As they are 13.5-point favorites over the Miami Dolphins, and to be honest with you, feels kind of low. When you look at what Buffalo has done this year, we'll look at their stats here in just a minute, but 49.5 points over under. Buffalo's going to have to carry some weight on that one if the over wants to hit. But before we get into the preview, let me know. Predict the score for me down in the comments below. Simply put MIA in the score if you have Miami winning, or put BUF down there with the score as well. Be realistic about it. Oh, man, it's going to be tough, and the numbers show that for Miami this week. And here are the offensive stats for both clubs. You notice a lot of single-digit numbers for the Bills, i.e. good. You notice a lot of high double-digit numbers for the Dolphins, i.e. bad. I.e. this is a gigantic mismatch of just crazy proportions when it comes down just to the offensive outputs and their difference here. You look at it, the Buffalo Bills are 6th in total yards per game. Miami, 28th. When it comes to passing, the Bills actually can do that. However, Miami cannot. So, yeah, it's a big underdog and just David and Goliath type matchup up in Orchard Park NY. But, I mean, if Miami starts to play the way that we know they can with the capable weapons that they have, it all comes down to the offensive line, which we all know needs to get better. But if Tua continues to play like he has the past 2 weeks, outside of an errant throw here and there, one that we all will remember in the red zone against the Falcons and then one in London as well, maybe there's some hope there on the offensive side of the football. But speaking of hope, you got some hope right here. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to gambling, there's no other place to do it than BetUS online. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code Dolphins125 for a 125% deposit bonus. I know what you're thinking, RC. They're going to basically pay me to put some money on their website? Damn Skippy. Now go do it right now. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code Dolphins125. And let's say you put $100 in. They'll give you $100 and then $25 more to make it $225 to play with all season long. Be sure to go over to chatsports.com/bet and don't miss this deposit bonus. I'm telling you, use that promo code Dolphins125. You're going to gamble on the NFL anyway. You might as well get some free money doing it. On the defensive side of the football, Matt, is that right? That's how many ones they have? They have that many ones. Wow, that's disheartening. Buffalo Bills are really good, guys. I think we all know that from the 35-0 defeat down in Miami, but my goodness, that defense is underrated. And that's saying something because they are the best defense in the NFL by a lot of statistics on your screen right now. For me, I'm just shocked at how bad Miami is. You're 32nd, 30th, 20th, 31st, and then 10th respectively in all those categories. How the hell did we get here? Like, you have a defensive-minded head coach in Brian Flores, and you took arguably the biggest step back you could possibly take when it comes to your defense all year long. Like, I mean, think about it. You were 32nd in Brian Flores' first year. Last year, 6th, and now you are bottom. You are the worst defense in the NFL in total yards per game. What the hell happened? Like, what's going on here? You are a defensive-minded football team, and you can't play defense, i.e., not a good recipe for success. Something has to change, but it's going to be difficult to do it against the Bills because, damn it, their offense scares the hell out of me. I mean, we're talking about an MVP candidate in Josh Allen, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL in Stephon Diggs. You could put him in that conversation, no doubt. Their run game is finally coming alive as well. And then you have other weapons in Dawson Knox, who might not play in this game due to a broken hand. But you have Gabriel Davis, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley, Devin Singletary in the backfield, as well as Zach Moss. I mean, there are elite weapons all over the field for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it is going to be damn near impossible to stop these guys. And if you gave up 35 points at home and didn't score any against them, what makes you think it's going to be any better of a situation on the road? I mean, I get it, you do have Tua back on offense, but speaking on defense, you might not have your quarterback of the defense in Jerome Baker. So be honest with me. Should the Dolphins sell at the deadline with the loss to Buffalo? I asked y'all this last week with the loss to Atlanta. It was about 50-50, right? I don't think it should be 50-50 anymore after this one. Halloween's going to be spooky, and I'll tell you what, that Dolphins defense is spooky to watch, and we'll be seeing nightmares for days after having to face off against Josh Allen and that Buffalo Bills offense. But let me know, should the Dolphins sell at the deadline with the loss to Buffalo on Sunday? Type Y for yes or type in for no. A guy that has to perform at an all-time level is Tua Tagovailoa. If the losing streak wants to end for the Miami Dolphins, he had his best game of his career in Week 8 against Atlanta. There's no disputing that. The first time that he's had at least 3 or more TD passes in a game. And there's been rumors of the Deshaun Watson stuff for a couple of weeks now. And Tua Tagovailoa came out and said earlier in the week that he doesn't feel not appreciated. So he's obviously still feeling appreciated. We had a good chuckle in the office with Harrison Graham, the guy that does our Chicago Bears channel, about reading that wrong because, well, sometimes it's difficult to read. Trust me, I know. But really, what can we expect from Tua in Week 9? That's the interesting part, right? Like, I don't know what to expect with all these rumors. He played great last week with the rumors, but it was the Atlanta Falcons, right? No disrespect to them, but they're a below average to middle of the pack defense. We're talking about the best defense in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills. The real biggest question I have going into this one with Tua is, could this be Tua's last game in Miami? And when I say in Miami, I mean with the Dolphins organization. There's a lot of rumors going around right now. I think everybody's paid attention to our channel, and it seems like every other video we have is about Deshaun Watson and taking that plunge and taking that risk, which I'm all for. I've had some people call me a Watsoneer. I don't know what that means. It feels a little weird to call that, but whatever. I'm all in favor of Deshaun Watson making that trade if you're the Miami Dolphins, and that's no disrespect to Tua as you look at his numbers in his best career game in the NFL. 4 TDs. He did have that bad interception in the red zone and one where he was just trying to do too much, but a 75% completion percentage. Let's be honest about the situation. He looked great, and he looked good against the Falcons, whichever way you want to go about it, right? This was the best game of his career, but it was against the Atlanta Falcons, and there's something to be said about that, right? You're facing a defense that, I mean, can you name 3 players on the Atlanta defense? And they played last week against Miami. Let me know down in the comments if you can, because right now, there's not very many guys on that defense that really stand out, right? That's not the case against the team you're going to be playing on Sunday on Halloween, where you got Tre'Davious White. You got a bunch of studs and Edmonds on the linebacking unit. And don't even get me started on that defensive line with Gregory Rousseau, who Miami fans know very well as he went to U of M down there in Miami. But, man, Tua is going to have to be elite against the Bills if the Dolphins even just want to have any kind of chance. I'm curious, though. Predict the future for me. How many TDs will Tua have in Week 8 versus Buffalo? I asked y'all this question, and I saw a couple people actually get it right. Bold call. There was 2 or 3 people, I believe, saying 4 touchdowns against Atlanta last week. Good for you. That was a hell of a call on your part, and I did not see that coming. I said 2 myself, but good for you guys. Let me know down in the comments how many TDs will Tua have in Week 8 versus Buffalo against the best defense in the NFL. And if you haven't already, I don't know what the hell you're doing at this point. I'm giving you content basically daily at this point. The latest news, latest rumors. We're giving you coaching carousel type stuff. I mean, you name it. I feel like that lady in that GIF. We got greens, beans, tomatoes, you name it. We're giving you that kind of information for the Miami Dolphins on this channel. Help us out and let us get to 18,500 by next weekend. We're trying as hard as we can to get there. The more subscribers we have, the more content we can put out. And, hey, maybe we'll even do a watch party here soon for the Miami Dolphins. And if they have a Deshaun Watson trade, you bet your ass we're going to be on that right away. Hit that big red button and turn it gray and subscribe to Miami Dolphins today. Here's some names to watch at the Bills. And, yes, I do have Josh Allen up there because prayers, just prayers at this point. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen is one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, and you have one of the best, really just secondary units, at least supposedly, for the Dolphins. I don't know if it's going to happen this week where they return to form, but it would be a great week to do it if you could make Josh Allen uncomfortable. But if you don't, expect a long day from an MVP caliber quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. Speaking of the secondary for the Dolphins, Xavien Howard, is he going to be the guy against Stephon Diggs? Last weekend, Xavien Howard was phenomenal. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was targeted 8 times, allowed 1 catch for 28 yards. Do y'all know what his passer rating against was? 2.1. That's unheard of. Like, you don't hear about that. Xavien Howard was elite last weekend, having 2 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and 1 interception. It's just going to be so much fun watching Howard versus Diggs all game long. And even if it's not Howard and Diggs, you got Byron Jones as well. It's just going to be fun to see what Miami does in terms of mixing and matching against one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, right? And that's what Stephon Diggs is. He is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I am excited to see Xavien Howard up against him. Speaking of excited to see, Myles Gaskin, he finally got involved last week. Who would have thought? Maybe if you put the ball in a playmaker's hands, he makes plays. Crazy enough, that's what Myles Gaskin did. Now, his rushing average wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, 15 carries for 67 yards. He did have a touchdown through the air, but I think overall, it's going to be a tough test on the ground for Myles Gaskin this week, right? You're not playing the Falcons, as I've mentioned multiple times in this video. You are playing the best run defense in the NFL outside of Tampa Bay, and you saw what happened for the Dolphins against Tampa Bay when it came to rushing the football. Didn't happen, right? I think Myles Gaskin is going to have to be used in the passing game, which I expect him to be, but on the ground, on the road, it is going to be tough to get anything going for the Miami Dolphins running back in Myles Gaskin. Now, it will help if this guy has a big game, and that's Liam Eichenberg. All right, I want to see exactly what happens to him now. This will be his 3rd game in a row starting at left tackle for Miami. How does that really just comfortability factor play into his play on Sunday, right? You're playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL. He's one of those guys in Liam Eichenberg where I love what I see in the run blocking, pass blocking, not so much. He's got to get better there, but he's going to have his hands full on Sunday. I mean, my goodness, this is a tumultuous front that the Buffalo Bills are throwing out there. You got Edmonds rushing the passer, mentioned Russo already. They don't mind bringing Pryor down from the secondary as well as Tre'Davious White either. I mean, he is going to have his hands full on that left side into his face, making sure that Tua is staying upright. Liam Eichenberg is definitely the guy I'm watching on the offensive line. And I mentioned him a little bit earlier in the video, but Jerome Baker. Is he going to play this game? He's going to practice in a limited basis this week. I'll be shocked if he actually plays. Shocked is probably a little too big of a word there, but I'd be surprised if he plays. He's one of those guys, he's the quarterback of the defense, right? That's what he is. If you're missing the quarterback of the defense, just like if you miss the quarterback on the offense, probably not going to go as smoothly. As I mentioned, he will be limited this week in practice. That's something that I really didn't expect, especially after he left that game last week, limped to the locker room, and did not return after half. It's going to be interesting to see if he can play, if and at all, for the Dolphins in this one. Definitely will be missed if he doesn't play. But, man, I don't know who fills in for him at that point in terms of just playing up to that level. He would be dearly missed against the best offense statistically in the NFL. And if you haven't already, head down to the comments and let me know what your score prediction is for the Week 8 matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Type MIA in the score if you got Miami winning, or type BUF in the score for the Bills. I'll be honest with you guys, this one's going to be rough. I thought I was pretty generous with the 21, to be honest there. Matt, you agree I was pretty generous there? Yeah, Matt's shaking his head up and down. He's a hater. I mean, don't ask him what his Raiders and Broncos prediction was a couple weeks ago. That went bad, but this probably could go bad for me too. I've got the Bills winning 35-21. I think it's a garbage TD late. I think the Bills just dominate from the jump. It is going to be a rough week, and the losing streak continues to 1-7 now for the Miami Dolphins. 7 in a row, not ideal. I'll tell you this, too. Don't be surprised if the Deshaun Watson trade happens after this game, maybe even before, but Brian Flores might be on his way out the door after this loss.